Did something new this weekend. 24 hours of lemons. Am I an expert on it? Nope. I helped the crew out this weekend, and it was a true 24-hour endurance race. I mean, you want to talk about jumping in the pool in the deep end. And it was deep. "24 hours of lemons." There's two types of races that I know about. Not an expert in this. There's the two 8-hour sessions, which is Saturdays, 8 hours, Sundays, 8 hours. And then there's the Saturday at noon, you go green, and Sunday at noon, the checkered flag comes out. Well, that's the one I did. And the reason you can't do 24 hours is some racetracks have got houses around them, and they're not going to like people racing at 2 o'clock in the morning. So, but where this track is, it's in the middle of nowhere. There's no houses out there. There's nothing out there. So it's here in Colorado. It's High Plains Raceway, and it was a true 24 hours. So what I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to put up pictures and some videos, and I'm just going to do a voiceover narration and give you kind of an overview of what it was like to do a 24 hours of lemons as a crew member, not a driver. I couldn't even fuel the cars, because to fuel the cars you have to go into the hot pits. To go into the hot pits, you got to have everything. I mean, helmet, fireproof underwear and gloves and the suit and the shoes. I don't have that stuff. I don't know if I'll get that stuff, because it's a pretty good investment for something that is literally 4 days a year. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. I had a great time. I got a fly in here that's wants to be on camera, but I had a really good time. Totally kicked my ass. I mean, when I got home Sunday, I was spent, and it took me a couple days to recover. So with all that being said, here is my 24 hours of lemons experience. So this is the car, 1978 Datsun 280ZX with a stock engine. You can see the frame inside, the safety roll cage inside, and it's pretty much, it's very basic. Friday morning, we ran some testing, and that's the first driver. And you can tell it is cold and wet. This is Friday evening during our night session, and this driver had never been in this car before. So we're getting him suited up and getting him ready to go out on the track, and it is wet and slick. This is the first brake job. We started this around 11 o'clock at night. All new rotors, front and rear, all new pads, front and rear. This is the morning of the race, probably around 11 o'clock. This is our little pit area and the paddock. There's the car. Tons and tons of people there. I think there were 67 cars. Our neighbors were running a Ford that they called a Ferrari, and they stuck with the whole Ferrari theme. This is right before the race, probably 10 minutes before the green flag. The owner of the car is getting in it and getting it warmed up and getting it ready to go out for the first hour. Our drivers ran about an hour and 15 minutes each, and then we're swapped out. You can see in the back here we have a GoPro camera, and I'll put a link to the channel that those videos are on. It's just a single camera view of a good chunk of the racing. Believe it or not, this is the start of the race. There's no grouping of cars together, there's no lining up. Everybody knows it starts at noon. You're either on the track or you're not, and pretty soon here, they're getting ready to go green. Matter of fact, I think right now they just went green. This is what happens when you spin out 3 times and in a row and get black flagged 3 times. There's a penalty. The penalty is basically you got to come off the track, but then they humiliate you. And in this case, they saran wrapped the driver to the top of the car and made him drive around the pits saying it's wet and to slow down.
It's still wet out there. Slow down.
This is our first pit stop and driver change, and they have a lot of rules there. And one of the things we were fighting is when you put your visor down, because of the humidity and the moisture and everything, they almost immediately fog up. Now you can't start fueling the car until you get the driver completely out. So we'll get the driver out here, we'll get fuel in the car, and then the driver back in, and then I think we actually do a driver change here, and then we'll go from there. You notice there the official, we didn't have the lights turned off, so the car has to be completely dead before fueling. And you saw the two tow vehicles go by. They were out most of the race, out there pulling cars off and getting them back on the road. Especially when at this point when it's just super wet. Now I'm going to show the whole pit stop here. It's about 4 minutes long. Just to give you an idea of, this is not a NASCAR or an F1 pit stop. Not on the wall. They were yelling.
Can't leave it.
Oh, okay, because they were yelling at him down there for it. Yeah. This is one of our full course reds. One of the cars threw a rod and oiled down the entire front end of the straightaway. And this is the end of the race, even though they've been out there competing. So this is Sunday at about 12:05. They've been out there competing for 24 hours, yet at the end of the day, they all support each other. And I'm going to let this run all the way through, just to give you an idea of the types of cars that are out there. There's another 280Z right there. But there's basically three classes of cars out there, from fairly decent ones to, that's A class, and B class is what we ran, and then there's C class, which is pretty much what that car is right there. But don't knock some of those C cars. They were pretty quick. And there's our car, and we survived. No dents, no major breakdowns, just lots of brake jobs.